2021, and we just finished the 26th episode of Big Brother Canada 9, which is the Week 9 Eviction episode. I'm Dave Mader, coming at you here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, joined with Jaemeel Robinson, as we have been for 9 weeks straight, 3 times a week, covering this action. And tonight, the final 5, the fabulous 5, became the final 4, Jaemeel, as Beth leaves the house in a 2-0 vote against her longtime adversary, Tara. So again, yeah, because this seems familiar. This happened last Thursday, where we had a Beth versus Tara vote, and in that vote, Tara went, but then she came right back in, and
so we need a rubber match.
We need the rubber match now, but we won't get that chance. Now we're into our final 4.
They can play it in the jury house. Because I don't think Tara's locked for this game.
We only got the beginning of the HOH competition to start tonight, so we don't know who will win that, or if we're gonna get a spoiler section tonight. At least I don't know yet. But Tashawn took the first point in that competition, so we'll see if how that nets out. Jaemeel, how did you feel about tonight's episode, and how did you feel about the exit of Beth?
Well, I'll start with the latter question. It was a long time coming, and I felt like it was a slow-moving train wreck to get to that point. It seemed pretty evident that she was not going to shake the tree and change things up. As for what this episode brought to us, after I felt last episode on Wednesday had a little bit more momentum, this one seemed to go at a crawl. Right? It seemed like it took a while for us to get to where we needed to go, and honestly, I would have preferred more jury if this was all that they had to offer inside the house.
Enjoy jury, Beth.
And
don't talk to me in riddles.
Don't talk to me in riddles, Jaemeel. Like, what are you talking about? I don't even know. Like, we've been working together this whole time, and now you're just talking in riddles. Is it because my stories never match up?
Because your stories never match up.
Yeah. I agree with you. This was a lot of filler tonight. There was a lot of issues here. I don't really understand this whole need to have the HOH always be a cliffhanger. We're going into the finale week. A week from tonight, Jaemeel, we will be closing the book on this season, and we will crown our winner from these final 4. And I think that we could have maybe done without, I don't know, this Weber grill thing with the raccoons. Or maybe it was the skip the dishes thing with Kiefer just getting...
What is the point of this? Like, okay, so you went on Slop on, was it Thursday? No, Friday. Let's say Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Friday. So we know that the barbecue happened on Tuesday. Right. So they literally had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 4 days. And then Monday was the queue. Sorry, Tuesday was the queue. And then skip the dishes had to happen shortly after.
Didn't Kiefer go to Wendy's with
Kiefer also went to Wendy's too.
With Braden, like, as well. Like, I don't think he had it that bad as a have-not. However, in terms of what was the point of the skip the dishes segment, I think it was just to stick it to Beth. Like, what else was there really to do?
I felt that was the case. Look, at this point, if this is what they're going to do in terms of have-nots, don't stop with have-nots. It's pointless.
When you have 2 have-nots and, like, you're saving one from have-not, then it's just like, okay, now it's getting kind of mean, isn't it?
At this point, yes. And it wasn't cool what the people are doing. I have a lot of opinions that are kind of outside the game, but let's continue on in terms of our breakdown of the episode.
Yeah, well, this was really the Beth exit episode. She was pissed at the house tonight. She was going around. She's getting into arguments with Tashawn, who was one of the 2 votes she needs to stay. This was the where he's saying your stories never match up. You don't talk to me in riddles, and he ends it with saying enjoy jury, Beth, as he carries up some very well prepared lunch or breakfast, it looked like, to Braden. He's like, I got my new squeeze, Beth, and his name is Braden. And I need it.
Love this. Love it.
Love it.
I am H-O-H.
You need the.
Oh yes. So and Ty was saying we can't just play the same game anymore. And when watching this tonight and thinking, good on Ty for being somebody who's able to adapt. That unlike Jed and Beth, who just didn't seem to be, I think they all saw the advantage of working together throughout the early part of this game. But Ty seems to actually have the social awareness to kind of ditch the train when it's kind of had its course. And I'm realizing only one person wins this game. It isn't there's no like patting yourself on the back for team effort here. There's like what? Oh, I was a really loyal like third place. I think Deshaun knows that won't be satisfying for him in life to think back on. Whereas maybe I don't think certainly Jed didn't seem to really get that that same sentiment even to now. And and Beth's little "I'm getting voted out" thing tonight. Oh,
I'm getting voted out. I'm getting voted out. Oh my gosh, I'm getting voted out this week.
Yeah.
No sympathy.
She, after this, she says, she goes to Deshaun, she tries to like smooth things over here, but the conversation's still pretty painful. I don't know. It was just really dragged out tonight. Like, and then Deshaun's like, hey, everybody wants to, everyone thinks you'll bring them, Beth, or whatever. Everyone thinks you're a good bet. So that's bad for me. Like, I think Deshaun and Kiefer try very, with some effort here to kind of explain their position and why they want to vote her out at this stage and why it doesn't make much sense. Now that they have a whole week to think about it versus in the double eviction scenario where it was very quick. And so, and that was the decision they made in that kind of a scenario. But here they are again, getting to do it all over again and going, with a different HOH, granted it's Braden as HOH, not Deshaun this time, but it doesn't really change the dynamics too much. And, Kiefer goes to her after this and says, hey, it's better for me to keep Tara. And, he was like, but you were trying to get me. And she's like, of course I'm trying to get you. It's, there's only so many other people to get other than me. Right. And so, but Kiefer's like, well, that's not good for me. And so therefore, this is why I'm voting this way. I'm like, fair enough, Kiefer.
She should have. I didn't understand the talking to Kiefer part because talking to Kiefer, specifically Kiefer, means that you also have to talk to Ty, right? Or have to talk to Braden. And you see that Braden and Ty are at this point a package deal. So why waste your energy on Kiefer when you could be working on Ty and Braden at the same time? Because even if you do get Kiefer, it's still Ty, and then Braden could send you home, right? But if you're working on both of them,
or all three, or ideally you get all three to agree to keep you over Tara, is what
that seems that's being a little bit too cute. I think
too cute. Well,
I think that's too much. I think that's too much to ask for, especially at this period.
Kiefer was paranoid. Kiefer clearly wants Beth out for justifiable reasons. He thought the whole place could be engulfed in flames, meaning his whole game would burn down.
This whole place could be engulfed with flames by the time it's eviction day.
Was it engulfed in flames?
Kiefer, that's a little bit dramatic, but like once again, going back to Beth needed to talk to Ty and appeal to Ty and Braden, because if she got the tie from Ty, then Braden could save her, right? And then she's got it, as opposed to all three of them agreeing, Kiefer and Ty agreeing, Kiefer and Braden agreeing. It's a little bit just too much to ask for.
If I were Beth and or if I was advocating on her behalf, I think her best case scenario to get two of these three people is not to get Ty and Braden. It's to get Ty and Kiefer. and take Braden out of the mix. Because I just think that they're the two more likely to be flipped. I don't think Braden's gonna flip at this point.
I think you need to get Braden in it because of what happened last time. They followed the direction of Ty's HOH, right? And I think this week, regardless of what happened, they were going to follow Braden's HOH. So I think that you need to start with that side. And if you're going to go to Braden, you might as well go to Ty.
True.
It's one conversation as opposed to two.
Yeah, but I don't think Tashawn was going to flip. I think he had made up his mind about Beth a while back, maybe even before this week had even started, right?
But he's the flip master. He's the one who always like, oh yeah, that would be cool. He said that when it was Kiefer. He said that when it was other people. He's always like, oh yeah, we can do that type of.
Yeah, he's interested in making moves. He is like Ty is someone who's here to sort of. He doesn't want to always be under the radar. He likes to sort of he wants to say he did something in this game. He has to build some kind of resume moves. And, if it's a more subtle game, then he can speak to certain examples that people will recognize. Okay. We had this whole Weber Grill promo, like we mentioned, with the puppets or they weren't puppets. They were like little.
Can I say that I honestly, right at this moment, have no interest in ever buying a Weber Grill at this point. I don't want to go to Wendy's. I want to stop going to skip the dishes.
Do you feel like the sponsors are a little, they're overselling our sponsors? Maybe.
Sunlight. I don't want to use it. All right. I might break out in hives next time I'm in the grocery and I see them on the counter. Don't make me relive it.
I don't want to. I just want, like it happened in the episode, so I feel like we have to mention it happened. There was Kiefer and Beth, I guess because they were the have-nots, they were assigned to this, and then they were in their green sleeping bags. It turned out to be 567 raccoon sightings.
Yeah.
And then there was one part where they had to distract them, but Tashawn was the only one I actually saw trying to distract them, but it was so obvious.
The other ones did try. When we were doing our Monday presentation, this was actually airing on the live feeds. So they were exercising together on the outside, trying to block them. They were trying to engage in conversations. Beth and not Beth, sorry. Tara and Ty were doing yoga. They were and also doing planks. And with the planks, they were counting down from 200 to try and mess up the numbering when the things come up, to just mess up their numbering scheme. But they were pretty much, on the job. Beth and Kiefer.
Okay, well, it was pretty boring, quite frankly. I didn't get the reward that came after. These rewards and these things work well on Survivor, I think, better just because they're been deprived. And maybe some of these skip the dishes ones could work if I felt the pain of the have-nots enough. But otherwise, you're just giving them stuff constantly. You're like, hey, look at our sponsor. And
it feels like they're eating all the time.
Yeah, it feels like
every week is a different party.
Yeah, I'm like, being in that house is not too bad. It seems like. You
just have to eat oatmeal on 4 days. That's it. And then you're eating these tons of steaks and what was last week? The week before was the spaghetti thing. Last week was what? I forget even what the big celebration was. There was another barbecue. There was a pool party, or was that just this week too?
They've had just different things and whatever.
Literally Wednesday was the hot tub thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday was the hot tub. That's right. I've lost track of how many different things. They sold a lot of things to make the show happen. That's I guess. I don't know. And then let's get to something a little bit more interesting.
Just wait until Larissa has to wear Wendy's bag as her dress.
Yeah,
it's coming. It's coming.
She have to make her hair red to be like Wendy. With this whole jury segment tonight, I thought it was actually pretty fun. It's always I find most jury segments to be interesting, especially when we haven't seen these people in a while. And tonight we saw more of this. It was Rohan, Victoria, and Tina, who have been the trio there for a little while now, a couple of weeks. And Jedson came in, and there was a bit of a thing here. I even pulled in a photo, Jaemeel, of this. because I thought it was like deserving. Just this moment when Tina realized that Tara had been the one to send Jedson here. She was very thrilled. Victoria's like, "Oh, you're gonna celebrate outwardly," and so Rohan as well too. And Jedson's got this nervous laugh or smile going on. He's like, "Ha ha 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 ha! Yes, Tara got me."
But
Twice.
Jedson didn't mention on during the cameras rolling that it was Kiefer's plan to get him out.
No, he didn't mention that part. Also, just in some of these segments we had tonight with Jedson, what is going on with this turtleneck, Jaemeel?
I can't really say.
It doesn't seem like it's an interesting choice for a man in this day and age in 2021 to go with
fashion forward.
It's maybe he's bringing it back. I didn't know turtlenecks were back, but if they're back,
turtlenecks are always in. I don't like wearing them. I don't always wear them, but I like turtlenecks. I like turtlenecks. I like ties, but only when I'm going out.
Yeah, turtlenecks, ties, Beth's.
But here's the problem: I don't like dress shirts.
You don't like dress shirts,
but I love ties.
Well, they usually go together.
Yes.
It's hard to have one without the other. But I also dislike dress shirts too. And I don't really like. I don't know. I don't need the tie. If I'm going to wear a dress shirt, I'd rather wear the tie.
Okay,
that's how I feel. I'm like, but sometimes people go, "What are you wearing that tie for?" And I go, "Well, I thought it's nice, And they go, "Oh, it's so formal." I'm like, you don't have to wear it. Like, can't I?
Yes,
wear it?
My Flintstone tie is very formal. Like, I have a wide variety of ties. I personally like solid colors, like reds and blacks and the occasional whites. Reds, power colors, from time when appropriate. But like when I know people are going to comment on the tie, I usually wear a very casual tie, like my Fred Flintstone dunking, tie. I think that's pretty casual. I don't know how more casual one can get than that.
Right. Well, maybe to wear a turtleneck could be more casual, like the Jed.
The Jed. That color too.
This whole and just like everything with this jury segment, I thought was fun. I think that they were kind of making note here of what Tara had done. And I think her stock went up. And then just this whole it was tough to watch thing where they were seeing how Jed was getting voted out by Ty and them.
It's tough to watch.
It's tough to watch.
And the cheese popcorn.
The crunch of the popcorn. Oh, so good. So much fun. We were saying, Jane and I, that Victoria was a lot of fun in these jury segments. It's kind of too bad she went out as early as she did. However, at the time of her eviction, I was fully signed off on it. I'm like, Victoria's
kind of burned out.
We're burning out. But Jane had expressed some interest or desire to see her return in a future season in an all-star scenario. I don't think she would be long for this game in an all-star scenario, but she's always interesting TV, I think, Victoria.
Yeah, I would say so. Kind of missing some of the earlier moments of it where they're like, "Oh, look, there's Tara floating in the water," and I'm like, "What was it? Was it a fish? Was it a leaf? Was it or was it just the fact that she was a floater, quote unquote floater?"
It was just a floater joke.
Yeah.
And who got me there? Me. I would like to thank me for all my hard work. I would like to thank me for getting Jensen out not once, but now twice. And I would like to thank me for saving my game in this house. Thank you, Tara. Thank you very much.
Does that sound like what a floater would do or say?
Not in this case. Not in Kiss.
One of the final four. Quite frankly, yeah, you want to throw some shade at. They were expecting Tara, I think, to come in here tonight, not Jed, right? Yeah. And then when Jed says, "Hey, there was this fake double eviction, there was this whole buyback," Tara went back in. They were like, "What?" And I think they have to now kind of rethink it. And when Beth joins the house next,
so look, if it's Beth, the only people that Beth has positive things to say is going to be Kiefer and Tara. Honestly,
yeah, she won't say anything nice about Braden or
no.
Yeah, so she'll and like we said last night, okay, why vote out Beth at this stage at this week instead of Kiefer? And it just comes down to they just don't want to play with you anymore, Beth. I think that's really what it came down to.
ABB, have you not seen ABB trending on Facebook and Twitter?
I have not. ABB, you say?
Yeah. Anyone but Beth. Yes, anyone but Beth.
Yeah,
People were like, who do you want to win? ABB. ABB.
I feel the same. I was like, I was finding her. She was when she was in a not in the power position, she acted about as bad as you can act. About
Insufferable.
Insufferable. When she had power, she was bad, but in this overconfidence, inflated hubris kind of way.
Yeah.
And so and she ultimately, she burned herself out here. She kind of spent the capital she ever did have, which was largely because she was aligned with other people.
Yep.
As a player, I don't think she's good enough to be in the Final Four. Or I prefer she's not there.
If she was playing on her own, she would have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah. But
and I don't think she would have been. I don't think she's aware enough to float to a point where she can kind of make moves like a Tara or even a Tina. Like, she put herself in a position and she became a target. Like, with Jet and Ty being like the figureheads of the sunsetters, quote unquote, and the sauce, she should have been making side deals and creating relationships. But instead it was Ty who was doing that work with Brayden, right? And also with Kiefer too. So she was sleeping at the wheel. Jed was sleeping at the wheel. It crashed and he got ejected, and she lasted a little bit longer but was pronounced dead in BB hospital tonight.
Enjoy Jerry, Beth.
Bye, Beth.
Bye, Beth. Okay, the skip the dishes thing, about as boring as it can come. That was after this.
Just see someone just stuff food into their face is basically that segment.
Yeah, it was like I just watched Kiefer eat the Baconator the other day. Come on, like it's fine. And then he was burping in this episode to like a tie. It was just like ugh. Beth, what is this? There was Beth and Tara were talking up after this too. This was an interesting segment because Kiefer didn't really do much for his game here, I thought, where he comes up here. It's Beth talking to Tara. They're kind of having their nominee talk. And, Kiefer comes in, I guess, to get his water bottle or whatever heck he needed. And, Beth said, they're talking. Beth says, well, I'm going this week anyway. And Kiefer goes, you don't know that. And he says this right in front of Tara.
I know.
And I'm just like, okay, so what was that for? I just don't. I think Kiefer did more harm to himself, and Kiefer has done this a few times, where he sometimes says things out loud before thinking about them or how they can be perceived.
Yeah, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt because I think at that point you're like instinctively used to giving people hope. Like like it's a non-rule, but technically a rule where you don't really tell the person who's going to get evicted that they're gone. You don't like give them no hope. So you're always like, oh, you never know what's going to happen. You might convince me, kind of thing, or right. There's never a finality where it's just
sure,
like,
sure, fair enough.
So,
yeah.
But yes, you're absolutely right, and Tara is also right. Like, I'm right here. So what are you saying is that I'm not safe, even though you've been telling me I've been safe? So I should be worrying?
Right. I don't know what the right answer, if you're Kiefer in that situation, what the perfect thing to do is, but it's
you tell her to keep campaigning, right? Keep campaigning. I don't know. Like, I wish you luck. I know where I stand. You can keep trying with Brayden and them, but I'm pretty much set in who I'm voting for. Would have been a better answer because it reaffirms your position with Tara, right? But at the same time, you're still wishing, even if it's a falsehood, that they're nowhere going to change. You still like, well, I wish you luck with the other side, but not with me. I'm closed for business.
Yeah. Okay. That's a better answer. I will, I was like, I don't know what I would do. Maybe I would do what Kiefer did here in the heat of the moment, but
yeah, just off the top of your head, I think that almost everyone, even myself, would say that automatically. So that's why you're right. But we're both right in the sense that I don't think it was intentional, but at the same time, it did him no favors.
It didn't, like Beth kind of set him up pretty well here to like look bad. And you know, so she was throwing bombs on the way out of here tonight. Like, you know, she was if anything else, she was going out. There was this whole argument. There was another argument with Beth and Ty before the vote too. Are you serious, Beth? I didn't end up pulling it as a cliff. There was the whole throwing under the bus. The Beth was the bus driver. A lot of bus riddles and things.
Don't talk to me in riddles.
And references and things like that. But I was like, I said, I wrote here, do you think that Beth Jaemeel will win Canada's favorite house guest?
You funny person.
I know. I'm hilarious.
Okay. Honestly, the top 3 people who are gonna win are Kiefer if he doesn't win the bird of beef. Kiefer if he doesn't.
We're starting the campaign now. Beth for Canada's favorite.
Kiefer, Braden, or possibly Victoria. I think are gonna win. Even though she got voted out a long time ago, people like just imagine the trio. None of them win.
What about like Tara?
No, I don't think she has a strong enough campaign. Like we're talking about like who is gonna vote for her? What block of the country is gonna be voting for Tara?
LaSalle, Ontario. Windsor.
No, Windsor's not.
Congratulations, Tara.
Come on.
No.
Come on. No?
Braden, there's a lot of Braden stands. A lot of people love Braden, right? Plus you have the West Coast, representing the West Coast, and also the First Nations individuals for Kiefer, the Keef. And then Victoria's just so wacky crazy that I could totally see it. Tina didn't play well enough for the East Coast to send her love, unfortunately.
I don't think she'll get enough votes. Tina, although you know, I think I would personally vote for Tara or Tashawn, but maybe I'm biased. Speaking of which, okay, just about this,
it's like only smart people pick those two.
Were you surprised when we actually got to the vote tonight that the house guests didn't even really know what the prize specifically was? Did you find that surprising out that that the rest had to break that all down?
It's possible that they introduced new prizes after they were in sequester, so that is possible. Maybe Weber was a last minute addition.
It seemed like the 10,000 from Sunlight was a bit of a surprise. Kiefer's the sunlight came into his eyes when he heard that. He's like, so it's $110,000 in cash, really, plus the vacation, plus the Weber prize pack.
Hey, it's a great deal, and Big Brother US people are often very jealous because you don't get taxed when you win.
No,
you just get taxed on your earnings at the end of the year.
Right. So
which can be manageable.
So it was nice to see them all react to that. I think because we're getting close to the end here. So hey, like break it all down, and you can see that. You can see it in Kiefer. Kiefer is hungry, man. He is hungry for this. Try to get in his way, you know. And it's gonna be interesting to see who survives, who is one standing here. Why does Tara have a key around her neck? I wrote down in my notes. Why did Tara was wearing a key around her neck tonight.
She does wear that from time to time. She's worn it before.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's the key to her husband's heart. I don't know.
Maybe it's her brother. Something to do with their brother.
Maybe.
Okay. Beth's speech was appealing directly to Bray and Ty. Wasn't even trying with Kiefer. So there's to your point that's where she thought that was her best chance. Obviously, that didn't work out here. Mm-hmm. We get Beth or Ty votes. Beth, Kiefer votes. It's a 2-0, and it's a quick one. And I would like to take this moment to just bring up the our draft, Jaemeel, and talk to that and just cross another one off the board. In this case, it will be Beth. Who has Beth in our draft?
Not me. I've been long gone.
Yeah, you're long gone out of this. Beth belonged to our friend Jen. Sorry, who was last to go?
Playing piano, and what was it? I've kind of forgot about some of these special things about them.
Yeah, let's take off Beth here. So she's evicted on
Playing
date.
piano and writing music.
No, and she is will be 5th place. And is the the 5th jury member, right? So,
And she's a Leo. Ugh.
Leos can't go with them. So we're gonna try cross good old Beth here off the board. Jen is done in our draft.
So the last place.
Braden was the last in our draft. Okay, like looking at who's left here, Tashawn, Kiefer, they went 3 and 4 from myself and Jane respectively, and then well, actually Jedson is now a full on. He's a straight through, so take him off because we didn't know what was going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
And Tara got voted out and came back. So and then Braden. So interesting. Yeah, Tara was near the bottom. She was 12th out of the 14. Braden was 14 out of 14. Belongs to Sean. And he also had Austin with the first pick.
Yeah.
So was this the final 4 you were predicting?
No.
No. Who could? Who could?
Because Julie and Victoria is not there.
No, Julie and Victoria. Well, obviously, no. You those were your picks. So Jane is still in this. I have both. I have 2 of the final 4.
Yeah.
And Braden. And if anyone else comes in, Daryl has the rights to him. So just to cross that off the board and I've never come this close to winning a pool. I'm excited.
Right, you're almost at the finish line.
I just need Ty or Tara to win.
I kind of hope that you don't win. I'm Team Keith. I've been
your Team Keith.
Yeah.
Well, Jane is with you because she owns his rights, but Jane's won this pool so many times. Don't you want to see an underdog like me win?
No. Let it ride. Let it ride, Jane. Let's have you do it 2 times.
She's done it more than 2 times. One time she won Big Brother Celebrity with Tamar Braxton, who was the last pick of the draft too. It was like a Braden situation. If Braden wins this and Sean wins as well, like, hey, there's no way. All it will prove is just statistically, you can't predict who's going to win these seasons, even based off this the pre-game interviews and everything else. Because we thought like Rohan was a lame duck. We obviously no one thought very highly of Braden.
Nope.
We overvalued players like Latoya and Austin where we shouldn't have. So hey, it only makes us better for the next draft, maybe.
Yep.
And then the goodbye messages tonight for Beth, just as we cross her out. Pretty boring.
Yeah.
Pretty safe. Tashawn's was pretty like safe, nice. Kiefer's very much like they were trying to do jury management with Beth a little bit, all of them. But and Braden's was like, hey, I bet you didn't know this. I was in on that whole Jed backdoor plan, and so take that to jury, and hopefully I win $110,000 plus an Expedia vacation plus a Weber prize back.
Yeah.
Who do you want to win? Okay, the final 4. Who is like you said? Kiefer is the one you want to see win, but after Kiefer, who is your next pick?
Braden,
okay, and then
Tara,
and so Tashawn's you're at the bottom of your rank. Why? And do you dislike Tashawn on a personal level, or do you just feel like he deserves to win the most?
I never met the man. I felt that even though it was smart for him to kind of, branch himself out and find a parachute in Braden has done a lot of work for them. Same thing with Kiefer. Even when Kiefer wasn't doing stuff for himself, he was doing stuff for others that paid dividends. And at a certain point, you give the person, the points for like kind of setting people out forth. But at a certain point, the people who actually accomplish the job, which would be in this case Kiefer and also and Braden. That's who I give a little bit more of the credit to, right? Because Ty's ownership of those specific moves are cut 3 ways.
Well,
right?
Tashawn's one HOH too has been completely cut from under him.
No one refers to it. All everyone says is, Braden, you've won 3 in a row.
Right. It was like it didn't count.
Yeah.
But Braden's veto win counts, but Tashawn's doesn't count somehow.
Correct.
But
So
it does.
the question
It does.
they're going to ask is, who did you take out on your HOH?
Tara.
Tashawn is the only one who's going to say that he couldn't. He
Well, he
didn't take out anyone.
tried, but there was a twist
Right.
at the wrong time. So, what's he supposed to do about that? Like he played his hand the best that he could.
I think they're going to say that, well, other people were able to make things work with less.
He's never been on the block, right?
And once again, Ty doesn't touch the block.
He's
Unless he
Teflon.
wins the HOH, he's on the block.
He's tough. He's Teflon Tashawn.
He's going to touch the block this week if he doesn't win HOH. And I think
Well-
he's not going to win HOH.
What if he does?
He chances are he is.
He was in the lead when we left. Okay, which brings us to I was
1-0.
1-0. Hey, the team that scores first in hockey often goes on to win,
Okay.
right? And maybe it doesn't work like that in other sports, but were you surprised that they were doing this competition in the OLG game room? It was a bit of a closed quarters in there with the 4 of them. Or did you find this was an interesting format?
I think it's going to be difficult to kind of look into the competitors' eyes. It looks kind of interesting for a second, but I think it's going to bog down unless people who like somehow are out of the running get taken away, so it's less people in the room. It does seem kind of awkward.
Could we not have done this whole competition tonight and skipped the watching of the raccoons or something maybe shortened some of the fluffier segments?
No. They had their plan. This is what they released. Either you like it or you don't.
Because when will the next person be evicted?
Friday.
What do
I'm
you
sorry,
mean Fri-
Thursday. Next week, Thursday. Friday.
No, but
Thursday.
but next Thursday, we have to crown the winner. So somebody has to go, and then we got to get to
No,
final
I don't
3.
think next week is crowning the winner.
I think so.
No. Next week is going to be the special episode where they start part 1. All right. Monday is going to be part. Are they having finale on Wednesday?
The finale is May 6th, which is next
Wednesday?
Thursday. We only have 3 episodes left, Jaemeel.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, don't you find it strange that we were spending all this time with raccoons and Weber grills and whatever?
They should have did the eviction yesterday and started part 1. Not part 1, but like
right, because we're a week out. This is like the night we're 7 days away from the crowning the winner. In most Big Brother formats, you would start the part 1 here, but that's not what's happening.
Part 1's going to be on Wednesday, and wait, no.
Part 1 has to be on Monday, so I guess they have to evict somebody on Monday, right?
No, part 1 has to start on Monday. They finish part 1 on Monday, and they do part
2 on Wednesday.
No, because you want to do part 3. You want to do part 3 just. No, shoot.
My best guess is that they'll evict somebody on Monday. We'll find out who the HOH is. We'll probably even get the veto and the vote because it's only one person voting.
So I don't think fees are coming up at all.
Maybe not. Feeds might be dead from now until Monday.
They're like you'll find out who is the HOH on Monday. They did not reference the feeds. I think there's not going to be any feeds.
So yeah, so as of right now, Tashawn's looking pretty good with that 1 point.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But,
He's out
oh my
ahead.
God.
He's coming for it.
Jeez. Okay. I thought we had a couple more weeks together. But now
Stay solid.
That's my Tashawn. Too loud.
I'm like, it's almost over.
It's almost over. Jaemeel, we got 1 week left. We've done 9 weeks in a row here. We have been champions.
Is Thursday next week Thursday 2 hours? Please tell me it's 2 hours.
It's a 2-hour finale.
Starting at 8?
Starting, I sure hope so.
Don't start at 9.
I don't know what time we're starting next week, but that would suck. Yeah, if we're gonna be here till like midnight covering this, I would hope that they're gonna start it at 8 o'clock because it's
please.
What
are they showing? 911, please. The people who watch 911 could wait a week. They can go on hiatus for 1 week.
Yeah. Yeah, like you don't need to know what's going on with that. You can take a week off, like Rescue 911 or whatever it is.
It's just 911.
It's just 911 now?
Yes.
Okay, was William Shatner still involved?
No, it's Jennifer Love Hewitt, Angela Bassett, the dude from 6 Feet Under. I always forget his name. Lead character.
Dexter?
No, that's the brother.
He's not the lead.
Dexter was never the lead in 6 Feet Under. I thought it was like supporting.
Okay, he's more supporting.
The older brother, that one that comes back.
The one who comes back to run the funeral home and everything.
Yeah. He's also in 911. You know, when you can't really find, you can't find like big, paydays, you just do a procedural for about 6 years.
This is like Chris O'Donnell, or if you're LL Cool J or someone of that nature, just or Scott Bakula, perhaps.
Scott Bakula, NCIS, New Orleans.
Yeah, whatever one he's on.
Yeah, I think it was. Is this still going?
I think so.
Jeebus.
I'm still trying to figure out these shows. I'm still trying to figure out these procedural like cop shows and military shows.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
No, I mean, nor am I. But some people look at us watching Big Brother and go, I'm not a fan of this either. But yeah. Okay, so but come on, we're a week away. We're a week away from crowning the winner of this, right? So
Kiefer wins. Kiefer wins.
No, I don't want Kiefer to win.
No, I don't want Kiefer to win.
No, I'm against it. Because he's the burp tonight.
The burp sealed the deal.
I was like, you don't deserve it, Kiefer, with that burping.
You didn't see the farting he was also doing.
No, you're losing me. Burping and farting is not gentlemanly. It's not worthy of $110,000. Quite frankly, Kiefer, I think it should go to Tara or to
Tashawn.
You see, like Tashawn's like okay. But Tashawn, I don't want to see. I think it's better for Kiefer to win it than Tashawn. The truth of it is, but on the other hand, I feel like Tashawn is sort of like this unlikely winner a little bit, who is kind of an interesting story. But he's also not an unlikely winner. It's kind of weird. Kiefer is normally the type of player I would be cheering for, but because of the way he's played this season, I've been very up and down on Kiefer. There's time, his desire to be accepted by Jedson and the rest. But now looking at how he played out the last week, I'm like, well, I don't think that was really ever the case. He was playing them actually more than being.
Couldn't it be both? At a certain point, he's like, I got to play for myself, and then he started playing them. But before, he was just so enamored with them, and it was like kind of sad, like. Dude, have some respect for yourself. You don't need to throw yourself on the grenade. Okay, you are no Steve Rogers, dude.
Right? Yeah. When he was in that mode, when he was that Kiefer, I was like, I don't like this Kiefer. And I'm still not fully over it. Although none of these people are perfect. These final four, they're all
nobody's Nurpic.
Yeah, like okay, Braden. He seems like a nice kid and everything, but he's, I guess he's a man. He's grown up. Now I need to get it.
Yeah, you need to get it.
What a great feeling!
But he seems. I don't know. I don't know how
He's a big kid.
I don't know
He's
if
a big kid.
Yeah, but I just don't know. In comparison to like Kiefer, even like or Tara, who have families, what this prize would do for him versus for them. So
Look, okay, I got to stop you there. Like if whoever wins decides that they're gonna buy 1,000,000 stamps and then mail out each stamp, that's their prerogative,
true.
right? The money is for whoever plays the best game, and if you play the best game, I feel that you should win the money, right? It goes hand in hand. Not like if they want to have a charitable side prize for biggest charity chase, sure, they can do that. That's cool. I know this might seem kind of heartless, but I'm kind of tired of the narrative of like someone deserves it more. You deserve it more if you win it, right?
Sure.
That's who deserves it more.
I'm with you, Jaemeel. But however, I just think that the reality of how people think in this game and how people do vote historically, this is a reality. Like
that's why they need me in the jury, man. I'd be like, I don't care. You could be homeless on the street if you did not play the best game. That says more about you than it says about anything else. Because if you were truly that desperate, you'd be doing everything you can to win. And truth be told, with that in mind, right, Kiefer's narrative is pretty straightforward, right? He's done almost everything he can to win, right?
Yes.
So, like, once again, I don't care that it would change his life. That's an added benefit for me that I can tap myself on the back afterwards in retrospect. But in the heat of the matter of doing the jury choices, like, you played the best game, dude. And if Braden wins more competitions, he played the best game. If Ty wins out, hey, I gotta rethink how things go. Same thing with Tara. But as it stands right now, all things equal, right? Starting at this point, Kiefer's played the best game.
Well, and the other three of these four know that Kiefer is the biggest threat. They have to.
Yes, which is like, don't keep him, right? Like,
Right.
I
So
want Kiefer to win, but it's like he needs to go.
I think for Kiefer to win, he has to almost win out here, right?
Yeah. As I mentioned before, he needs to win. Was it 4 of the next competition? 4 of the next. Where's my empathy?
From BB.
Oh, it's in my elbow right here.
Yeah, hey.
Look, empathy. I feel for him. I do feel for him, but like, you gotta earn your pay, right? I think that everyone should have a living wage, yes, but I also feel that everyone should earn a living wage, right? So our best bet is to get people to work. Put in that work, you get the money.
Well, Kiefer has put in the work. Kiefer, as a big brother player, deserves to win. But if his case is like, hey, like, I'm a kid from the res and I come from poverty and this would change my life, you're just saying, hey, that's all good, but that's not how I'm gonna vote as a juror.
Congratulations. Okay. That's right. If he just came with that, I would be like, that isn't good enough. Please give me another reason for why I should vote for you, because Tara can give me another sob story, right? That doesn't mean anything, right?
Well, right, but I think that the older jurors are more likely to vote along these lines too, right?
Wait, you think Tina, Tina, I think, has shown empathy, but Tina also is like, I don't like these kids at all.
Well, I think Tina's likely to vote for Kiefer, though. Anyway,
I think she is, because I think she feels that Kiefer put in work, because Kiefer was doing so much work in terms of keeping Tina's name in good graces of the rest of the Sunsetters while she was, away the entire time. So I think she appreciates that. I don't think Tara really realizes how much Kiefer kept them under the radar, because whenever like Beth and Tashawn and Jed were like, what's up with Tina? It's like, oh no, Tina's good, right? and he'll relay the information back to Tina, all right, and relay Tina's information back to them. So like Tina knows what Kiefer did for her, right? So
Sunsetters for life.
for life.
She was a sunsetter. Remember when she was a sunsetter?
Yes, way back when.
Way back, long time ago. Feels like, yeah. Like I that's the thing too. Is that Kiefer doesn't really need this to sell his case to win. He's already won it, but I guess it's just added emotional heartstrings for whoever that might appeal to. Versus like Braden, like, you know, he's got his whole life ahead of him, and he's a young, you know, he's in school and he's a student, and you know, and then you got Tara, who's got like the 2 kids and whatever. And I get it, like they all come from different walks of life. Tashawn's a single young guy from Montreal who is just, you know, starting his career and whatever else. So they're all.
He's like, I gotta go back to a lockdown at 9:30, dude.
Yeah,
you should give me the money.
Yeah, but you can like you know, bring your own wine to rrestaurants, so it's
Very true.
So hey, you
can drink publicly in parks.
Yeah, there's some benefits to that Quebec laws. Oh.
All that poutine.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about a few hypotheticals here.
Hit me with it.
All right, Tashawn is the HOH.
Ooh.
For this final 4.
Yep.
Okay, so it all comes down to the veto ultimately.
Well, who do you think he puts up?
Not that it matters, but let's say he puts up Tara and Kiefer.
Okay. I buy that. I co-side with that. There's no other choice, really.
Right. Was it historic when Kiefer saved himself? It was like was it like maybe not Dan's funeral, but something in that realm, you know, when he campaigned his ass off to save himself against Tina?
I think it means more to the to everyone except Jed and Beth. I think Beth is pissed off about it still. And Jed would feel a certain way about it, but everyone else from the outside, so like the Victoria, the Tina, the Rohan, they'll appreciate it more. I do think it means something for them. Yes, it's no Dan's funeral. Dan's funeral is epic, and if those out there who hasn't seen it, I still think it's worth seeing.
Yeah, he didn't win the game, but he saved himself, yes, but
I campaigned my ass off, and they want to keep me. Me! I can't believe this. I'm going to stay in this house, and I'm going to continue to play my game. The Grim Reaper, baby! Let's go!
Let's go!
let's go.
Yes. Whoever wins the veto is the most important thing. All HOHs is immunity.
Okay. In all these scenarios, let's say the HOH wins the veto as well. Okay. Just to keep it, just so we don't have a million different contingencies. So, okay. Tashawn wins HOH. He leaves Braden off the block, and ultimately Tashawn wins the veto as well. Doesn't use it. So Braden gets to vote here in this scenario. All right. Who Braden's evicting Kiefer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next scenario. Tara wins HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Tara also wins the veto. Who does she leave off the block? My prediction would be Tashawn.
It doesn't even matter. I think she'll put Kiefer up.
She'll put Kiefer and Braden
and
up.
Tashawn up.
Kiefer and Tashawn up. Leave Braden off.
Because you like anyone who wins that isn't Tashawn has to put Tashawn up, because you want to eliminate that whole argument. I never touched a block. Yes, you did.
Yeah. So it's in the best interest of the other three to make sure Tashawn does touch the block.
Correct.
Even
if
Braden.
it's why not?
Right. Why not? Okay. So let's say Tashawn's on the block against Kiefer. It's still Braden voting, and in this scenario, and Braden would vote Kiefer out.
Yeah.
Okay. Next scenario. Braden can't win. So Kiefer is the HOH.
Braden could win.
No,
everyone plays. Everyone plays
not in this one. No. Braden wasn't playing tonight. He was on the stool.
Oh no! Snap.
Yeah, he's not in this. He's not eligible to play in this one.
Okay. So you said Tara, so Kiefer wins HOH.
And he wins the veto in this hypothetical, right? So, so Kiefer who does he put up? He puts up Tashawn
Ty.
and Braden?
No. Tashawn and Tara.
That's worst case scenario for me. It's the owner of Tashawn and
but he will
Tara
sell it on Tara, telling Tara, hey, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is the veto type of situation. And he's telling Tashawn, hey, don't worry.
Sounds like Dave is implying that the only way that Keith can stay is to win out. Well,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm implying it as much as I'm just like trying to. I'm logically getting there and saying, yeah, I think that's the only thing, because I just don't see why. Who wants to take Kiefer to the final two?
I wouldn't even want to chance it. Even if I won out, I wouldn't even want to chance it.
Yeah, like even to the final three is dangerous because obviously he can win. So this is your best chance to get him out.
Yep.
You get maybe one more. And if he's sitting in that final two, it's almost a slam dunk that Kiefer wins.
Yep.
Right. And we might be saying a week from now, hey, Kiefer, great player, deserved his win. He had even going into his final week, he had all the odds against him. And so, Kiefer likes to have this grandeur idea of himself.
Because even if he doesn't win anything and he gets to the end, him not winning anything also is positive for him, because it's not going to be like, Kiefer, you messed up by not doing ... Whereas if it's Braden, Kiefer, or Tara who's won and took him, everyone's going to say, you had your chance to take him out, but you didn't. Right. And it becomes a different narrative altogether. Like, he did what he needed to do, and then he played a good enough game in terms of socially for him to be kept. It's not a power move that you kept him, right? It's not going to look good if you kept him. Everyone at this point feels that he's playing the best game, so that means you need to eliminate him. The same reasons why you eliminate Jedson is the same reason why you eliminate Kiefer.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's okay. So, but who does Kiefer want to get out the most? I guess if he's HOH, who's his biggest threat?
A Ty.
Is it though? Because
Braden's going to take Ty. Ty is going to take Braden. So you're at the very least, you're giving yourself an opportunity for choices to be made.
Who's Tara going to take?
If she's smart, take Braden.
Yeah, I don't see her taking Kiefer either.
No, she shouldn't take Kiefer.
No, I can't imagine, because she doesn't. She no longer buys his stuff.
I no longer buy Kiefer's emotional dick.
No. So I guess Braden, right? So is Braden in the best position then?
Technically, yeah.
Who wants to? No, he's coming off his HOH.
I am HOH.
And it doesn't seem like anybody would target him this week.
Yeah.
Hey, good for him.
Because if you're Tara, would you want to get rid of Braden? Because if you do, is Ty going to take you, or is he going to take Kiefer? And honestly, at this point, I think Ty would take Kiefer. I just feel like he would do something like that.
Ty take Kiefer. I don't think so. I think you think a little too low of my boy Ty, who is just he knows enough. He knows enough not to take Kiefer. I think.
Don't know. I
hope.
Know.
Oh no, maybe not.
Kiefer.
Oh, I'm so irritated.
Like, Braden knows, Tara knows, Kiefer knows. I don't know about Ty, man. I don't know about Ty. I would be worried about that.
He'll stay solid.
I would say Tara would need to get off Ty. Get rid of Ty. Braden will most likely take you.
Who's the least deserving?
At this point, Tara.
Tara's the least deserving.
And you know why? Is because she didn't do her any favors by giving Kiefer ownership of the jet elimination. That was a bad move. That was a bad move. She should have taken a lot more credit.
In these scenarios that I just pitched, B Bean's asking if a block person wins veto, who evicts Bray?
No one.
So
No one,
Bray
right?
is on the block, right? Because in all my scenarios, it was the same HOH and the same veto winner, right?
Yeah.
So
Ty would eliminate Tara or Kiefer if they're available on the block, right? Sorry, if the block person wins veto, who will evict Bray? No
What if
one.
it-
Once again, because if Kiefer and Bray are up and Kiefer wins, right? He steps down. Tara takes his place, right? He's going to eliminate. Oh, in that case, I think he might eliminate Bray if it's Tara and Bray on the block for Kiefer. He would eliminate Braden because he wants the opportunity for them to choose him as opposed to it being 2-on-1. Right? If it is, let's say, Ty and Braden on a block, Ty wins, takes himself down, Tara's on there, Tara gets eliminated. That's the only two scenarios, right?
yeah,
If it's Braden, if it's yeah, those are the only two scenarios.
I'd be pretty shocked. I'd be pretty shocked if it's Braden going out next on Monday. And Braden's looking pretty good for final two, even at this point. You know, barring some other scenarios, maybe. Like, it's hard to say.
But if Kiefer gets another win and makes it to the end,
I asked that question to solidify your comment that Bray is the best in the best. I think he is in the best position.
He is, unless Kiefer is taken off the block.
He's taken off the block by himself or by somebody
and not
else?
HOH.
And not HOH.
He's not HOH, and he's taken off the block.
But how is that possible? He'll only take himself off.
Yeah, he'll take himself off, and then it'll be Braden and Tara, or Braden and Ty, and he'll vote out. He'll mostly vote out Ty, wouldn't he not? So it's 1v1v1.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think I backtrack in terms of my decision. It depends on the scenario and who's HOH and who's veto. But if you're Kiefer, you want it to be even Stevens. If you're Ty or Bray, you want your pair to stick with you to the next round. If you're Tara, if you're anyone, you want, and Kiefer's available, you want to take out Kiefer. I think that's the most concise method of the scenarios.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Kiefer, it's his game to lose, but he has to kind of do what he needs to do to win this thing out, either win this HOH or win the veto or both. I think that Braden's in one of the best positions. I think Tara and Tashawn are kind of in for a fight themselves, and it's kind of going to be luck of the draw on which one of them stays, maybe if it's not Kiefer going.
If I was Kiefer, I would just want to be HOH and just avoid the situation altogether.
Yeah, well, you know how Kiefer thinks. He doesn't. If he's not safe, if he doesn't have safety, he's not feeling safe.
If I don't have safety, I ain't feeling safe.
Simple as that. I don't know if you know this, but 2 balls makes it twice as hard.
2 balls makes this twice as hard.
But you know what was also missing in this episode? I don't believe I saw it. Was there was supposed to be a very interesting conversation about haircuts between Ty and Kiefer.
Kiefer, yeah. I was like, okay, because of the
and
mullet.
Kiefer was talking about how he needs a tight mullet. Otherwise, it gets a little bit nasty, so he gets it cut every 2 weeks. So, wait, he has a mullet. What does that mean? He is the man with the mullet?
The man with the mullet. Big gullet, bigger heart. Let's go.
Let's go. Sorry, I kind of led up to that, but
I know. I was like, I know where he's going. I know where he's going.
But that conversation actually did happen. Whereas Ty he gets it done every week. He gets his fade, redone every week, gets his cut
I can't even get a haircut right now, Jaemeel. It's getting crazy. We're in lockdown. It's all this haircut stuff.
Have Jane cut your hair.
I said to her today, I'm like, it's gonna come to this. You're gonna have to cut my hair. She did it once on the last lockdown about a year ago.
Tell her to cut your hair. Worst case scenario, and if it looks bad, you're at home. You wear hats.
I wear hats.
Write it up.
I don't have to be on camera that often. So yes, I could do it.
Write it up for 2 weeks. It'll grow. It'll even out.
Oh man, it's starting to get like uncomfortable for me. But hey, it's first world problems, right? So anyway, so we're gonna wrap up for tonight. I don't think we have anything for spoilers, do we?
I'm looking at the feeds are down. It's not you, it's us. We love you, we really do, but we need some time apart. We'll be back soon, promised. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll keep that promise, Jaemeel.
I don't think we're getting feeds this weekend again.
I don't think so. I think we're coming back Monday and we're going to find out who won this HOH. And I think we'll get an eviction on Monday and then we'll start the first part of the HOH. And then we'll get part 2 on Wednesday and then the finale.
Give me that endurance. Endurance that doesn't involve rope and climbing. I hate the rope climbing endurance thing.
But what if, the one where you have to know your days and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
Yeah. We'll see what if the endurance thing comes up, how do we know it won't be like Tashawn? So this will suddenly be his time in the game where he goes on a streak.
I want an evil deck endurance where you're on a flower and you have to like jump over something right at the same time, and it starts raining and you have to keep your hand up. That one I loved.
Thank you, Bean. We always appreciate it. We hope you'll be back on Monday and the rest of the final 3 episodes for this season.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just to plug our other shows, we're going to sign up for tonight because there's about all we can say about this episode and this penultimate week of Big Brother Canada 9. Just to plug our other things here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, we cover other shows too. We've done Westworld in the past. We've also done Survivor. We've done Tiger King. We did The Serpent a week ago on Friday. We also covered Marvel cinematic content here and there, and we did WandaVision when that series wrapped. And this Saturday night, we're going to be talking about the next MCU show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And checking all that was only 6 episodes compared to the 8 episodes we had for WandaVision, so a little bit less to break down there. But
4 hours and 32 minutes of content.
That's all it is. It's just like a really long movie, is what So I'm going to rewatch it again heading into Saturday. But I'm looking forward.
Seemingly not as long as Justice League.
Yeah, it's it's longer though.
It's longer, but it didn't feel as long.
I bet it didn't. Yeah, and it's episodic, so you can break between.
Oh, I recut the episodes, so it
just flows as one long movie.
One movie. It cuts to black and then it starts up with the next episode.
Oh, hey,
no credits or nothing.
Yeah, and it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I had fun watching it. We'll be doing that with Ashley Millard, you, myself, and her. I was hoping like, can we get an American? Because it's talking about Captain America. We're all Canadians, and I feel like we're a bit disconnected on it. But maybe that's the perspective we have to come at it with. So
we'll look under some rocks. We'll get some Americans. We will allow them to join our podcast if they can give us some vaccines.
Vaccines for podcast guesting. I like it. Also, we have other channels, including our Star Trek themed one, which is called Live Long and Podcast, where on Tuesday nights we talk about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. We've been watching every episode and podcasting about it in order. We're into season 3 now. We just did the 2-parter past tense where they went back to 2024, which is not that far from now. So some interesting observations there. We do an original series episode of Star Trek every Wednesday night with my dad. We just did Friday's Child last week. And what are we doing next? The Enterprise Incident we're doing next for next Wednesday. And we've done all the other Star Trek shows like Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Lower Decks, and more to come in the future. So, and then we have Trivial Debates, our 3rd channel, where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more on a monthly debate show just came off of that. My son was hosting this last episode. Jody Simpson to host the next episode, by the way. And always quite a bit of fun in those. So check out all our channels and our podcasts that we put out on a regular basis. I think that covers it, right?
Yeah, it does.
So much. I have to, get it out. Oh, and Star Trek Radio Theater, which we also do on Live Long and Podcast, but we're taking a week off.
I told you to take a week off, and you replace it with Falcon and Winter Soldier instead.
Wait, that's fine. It's way less work. Falcon and the Winter, like it's not the podcast that it's all the
prep.
All the prep work because I'm still editing last week's Radio Theater, which is coming along nicely, but it's a process to go through.
You can make it go.
Can you make it go? I'm redoing Chris Seymour's Sonia Gomez. I'm taking his read and I'm like changing the pitch to try to make him sound like a woman. It's not going so well, but it's gonna be funny. So So check out all that great stuff. All right, Jaemeel, let's sign off for tonight. Thank you for the podcast, and here we go.